Welcome to the Big Ol' Bracket. Here, Jacob and I are joined by three friends to scream over fictitious matchups and have debates no one ever asked us to have.
You know, like Best Pompadour in Anime or Best Animated Kids Show between 1994 and 2005. Stuff that doesn't really matter in the long run, but hey, what else are we gonna do?
Once we determine a topic, we pick the competitors, match them up using our highly advanced randomization system,
An old bingo bag with the names written on a slip of paper.
then we yell, argue, and insult each other until a winner is determined. Then we move on to the next round and do it all again.
When all's said and done, we have, in theory, the best example of whatever it is we're debating.
Will we still be friends when this is all over?
Let's
find out.
And we're back!
All right, round two.
Round two.
None
match
of us are
one.
proud of what happened last
Do we
time.
need to
I'm
introduce
proud.
this since this is a new video?
No! Stop with the introductions.
Not
it's a bracket.
us, just this.
Steve, Tim's, Jacob, Kyle, Scott,
Not
ready to go.
us, just this.
No,
Oh, this
the
isn't gonna be
whole
one
thing is
long
that
video?
we have an
broken
intro
up into 6 videos.
that
Oh,
plays
it's
up
gonna be like
out
an
of.
8-hour
You asked
video
the
to
same
watch
thing
through.
last
And scene.
And we're back. Welcome back. We're gonna pick the next one. Ready?
Yep, let's do
Ready?
it.
Okay.
Come on, Keri, give us
Mario
something good.
versus
Here's
Pokemon.
you.
Are you allowed to burp on YouTube?
Doom.
If Doom, okay,
Doom.
interesting.
But you included Doom?
Yes.
I have no dog in this fight. Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh boy, doggy.
Okay, but we have to clarify which games count as Marvel vs. Capcom.
Anything with Marvel versus Capcom.
Marvel
in its title.
Superheroes, Street Fighter versus X-Men, both count in the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise.
And then 1, 2, 3, Infinite.
Yeah.
What about Capcom versus SNK?
No. We some people count it. We decided it didn't count.
We classify the Marvel versus series and the versus series as two separate
Okay.
game series.
Okay.
Here's where
So
I'm at.
Tatsunoko versus Capcom is also not included in this.
Here's where I'm at. I don't care about either one of them, so people have to convince me which one to vote for.
Doom 2016 is real fun.
It is.
That's all I've got.
I have to
Doom's very
side
good,
with Marvel
but-
versus Capcom because I'm bad at Doom and suck at it.
The
And
first Doom, though,
I actually am good at Marvel versus Capcom.
the first Doom. I mean, if we're gonna talk about important games.
It's important. But you were
Didn't Wolfenstein come out around that time?
It was before Doom, yeah.
Marvel-
But Doom was freeware, so everyone had it.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is actually my third favorite video game of all time.
That was a really good one.
Marvel vs. Capcom is one of the coolest fighting games, one of the deepest fighting games, and one of the most fast-paced fighting games
And it feels a niche
Of all
that
time.
nothing else is filling.
until DBZ.
Yeah. Skullgirls kind of sometimes, depending on how you play it.
But it's more of a Guilty Gear style.
yeah.
I think that Marvel vs. Capcom, it really and sadly with Infinite they took a step back from this. The assist system is really rad. The fact that the way you can kind of freeform your combos, because a lot of things cancel into other things, is really cool.
The fact that if you hit someone once, you insta-win. That's great.
That's not even true. It's just the combos are really, really long, but they're also very interesting and allow for a lot of personal creativity in them.
Sure.
I have lots of fond memories. Me and my stepbrother, we would play Doom on our computer. I don't even know how we had it because, like, I know my parents wouldn't have gotten it for us.
Everyone had it. It was freeware. They literally gave it away and told everyone to share it with everyone.
Yeah, I have no idea how we, as 10-year-olds, got a copy of Doom.
Ultimate Doom.
Oh yeah, and there's
Oh,
Doom,
yeah.
there's Doom 64 as well. That's
Yeah.
the one I mentioned. That is
Yeah.
actually not a port. It's a different game.
Yeah.
And I played Marvel vs. Capcom at youth group, so I'm more inclined to go with
I
Doom.
also, Marvel vs. Capcom, Jacob talked about 3 being fucking great, and we all like 2 or whatever. Marvel vs. Capcom 1's really good. We used to play it at school a lot because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 wouldn't run on MAME.
Not that you pirated it.
No, of course not.
No.
And
would be illegal.
Marvel 1's a really good game. I played it a lot in high school, but I also bought it again on 360 when it came out. I think it was like 2011 or something.
Yeah.
And it holds up. It's a really cool game, and it's very different than Marvel 2 and 3.
Yes, absolutely. And I think Infinite was trying to go for that. And what I will say about Infinite is while it was a step back in a lot of ways, the combat system was, like, the mechanics of the game
It just looked and sounded
super
terrible.
fun. Yeah, it just looked and sounded terrible, and the story was awful. But the actual gameplay was super fun and really
I
interesting.
love playing. Are we talking about Doom right now?
We're
We're
talking
talking
about
about
Marvel.
Marvel or Doom, either one.
We're kind of just going off.
I'm gonna say because if you're talking about Doom, I was like, I play Doom for the story only. That's the only reason I play Doom is for the
I mean,
campaign story.
Doom doesn't have multiplayer.
Doom also, talking about the story, though, the first game kind of sort of had a story, but having...
It's not about a story
having
in Doom.
Having Doom guys face front and center at the bottom was such a smart decision, because it made me so, like, it gave me someone to latch onto. I wasn't just a gun, I was a person,
Do you want to take a vote?
Yeah.
All right. Doom, raise your hand. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, raise your hand. All
It's
right.
Marvel vs. Capcom series. It's not just
Marvel vs.
three.
Capcom 3,
Marvel
raise
vs.
your hand.
Capcom 3, Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate.
And that's it.
All right, Scott, choose the next one. Steve!
All right, what's your Scott?
Half-Life.
That's a good game. Series.
Not series.
It's a good game.
Game.
That's a good game.
That's a good game.
I said series.
Oh,
Ooh.
God.
Monster Hunter loses because only one of them's good.
Yeah,
Literally
Hot
fuck
take.
Monster
Okay.
Hunter.
Only world is good.
No,
That's not
weird
true.
flex.
That's
Monster
not true.
Hunter.
At least 2.5 of the games.
No,
are
Monster
good.
Hunter 3 Ultimate was really good too. Monster Hunter Tri was good. ... for the Wii.
Try was good. 3 was
Tri
good.
Ultimate was good.
Try and Try Ultimate were both. Try was fine. Try Ultimate was very
Go back
good.
and play Monster Hunter 1 though.
Oh my god, it's so fucking
You
terrible.
Horrible.
You
I
can't.
okay, so me and my best friend not high school, we were young,
I'm
like
sorry,
middle
you had a
school.
bad best friend.
Yeah. Oh my god. He brought it to my house and he was like, "Dude, this is the best game ever." And I played it, and you fucking attacked with the right analog
Yeah.
stick like a fucking monster.
Like
People
it's
that
Metal
it
Gear
clicked
Solid
with,
2 or
though,
something.
Like people that it clicked with really did like
Yeah.
like every Monster Hunter. And what I will say,
PSP games were consistent too.
what I
They were
will
alright.
say is that the thing about Monster Hunter that I think is really cool is that it has consistently improved and expanded its audience every single iteration.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time they add 2 fans. They're
Oh,
up to
that's
about,
not true.
Actually, Monster Hunter
World,
Monster Hunter World was, I think, Capcom's best-selling game ever. I think,
Yes.
which
Holy
is nuts.
shit.
Yeah.
It was
sold
and
dozens.
still is
Well-
super popular. It sold millions actually.
Dozens.
People
It
still
was the
play it.
game that finally broke, because Monster Hunter has always had this weird boundary where it's been kind of popular, but like a lot of Capcom franchises, it's like popular consistently with the same
But just
people, but
not
doesn't
breaking
branch
it
out.
out.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and you don't see a lot of new people coming to Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter World changed that though.
Yeah, but I'd say for the most part,
Yeah.
like now, like if you talk to people and like, hey, you play the new Monster Hunter game, they might ask you, oh, is there a new one? They wouldn't even know. It should, and that's not like a dig against
But
the game.
with
It just never
Half-Life,
gained
if
quite
Half-Life 3 happened, everyone would know because the world would
Hold
fucking
on,
blow up.
Sure.
Hold on.
flip its mind.
How is Half-Life on this?
Half-Life, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2,
Half-Life
and Half-Life
2.
Blue Shift.
And Counter-Strike, sort of.
And then Half-Life Lost Coast.
Well, if you're gonna count Counter-Strike,
What?
then why not just count Portal?
I was about to say also.
You know,
What?
does Portal count?
No,
It
that-
kinda
Team
does.
Fortress.
None of that counts. Half-Life has 5 standalone
Okay.
expansions that you can play and take at least 3 to 5 hours to beat.
I know this isn't the debate, but I think Portal does count personally.
No, Portal is its own series. It's
I mean,
separate.
Half-Life wins.
It's in
We
the
don't
same
need to keep
universe.
talking.
Yeah,
We can
Half-Life.
talk more about why Half-Life's great later, but we know it wins right now.
Now, if it was
Head
Half-Life
crabs.
just versus Monster Hunter World,
Yeah, I think Monster Hunter World on its own is better than any individual Half-Life game.
Ooh, the fire you just
the
lit.
Fuck you said.
The fire you just lit on the
But-
comment section.
But I think Half-Life's definitely better for
Half-Life
me.
Yeah.
2 is one of the most important and
No, sure.
greatest games of all time.
Head
It's
crabs.
also old.
Sure, but it's still very good.
No, it's still
That's,
good.
that's because you don't play on the PC.
It came on. No,
Ooh,
I was a
Half-Life-
little kid when these came
Half-Life
out.
came
I
out on
had access to a
360.
computer.
Yeah, Orange Box. Orange Box was a great value.
I guess, yeah.
Like,
Oh.
how the fuck did y'all
That
have
was
access to these
value
games?
in a box.
It held its
I
value
played
too.
them when I grew up.
Yeah, it
I
was on
bought the
Orange
Orange Box at
Yeah.
Also, it was on Orange
$17.
Box.
I didn't
Took
get
it
the
back to
Orange Box.
GameStop and got $30 for trading credit for
That's
it
fucking nuts.
because everyone wanted it.
Anyway, we can talk more about
Yeah.
Half-Life when it comes up against something else, but I think it
Half-Life,
wins.
yes.
It wins. This.
Yeah, Half-Life.
Yeah,
That's
Half-Life.
fine.
Well, Monster Hunter's neato. It's a neato franchise.
Yeah.
It
I-
would have beat Sonic.
I
Yep.
It would have beat Kingdom Hearts too.
Monster Hunter would have not have beaten
Ooh,
Kingdom
I don't know.
Hearts.
I'd have to
It
think
would
about
have for me.
Well, here we go, gentlemen. The next one is Call of Duty, and who wants to draw next?
I have some things to say about why Call of Duty's better than y'all think it is.
I have some things to say why
No,
I hate it.
here's the thing. I understand. Ugh.
I can't wait to
Call of Duty versus Pokemon.
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 Yeah, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Call of Duty.
I don't have shit to say about Call of Duty, turns out.
Scott has nothing
Call
to say.
of Duty 4 and Gears of War both revolutionized. Well, Call of Duty revolutionized.
Call of Duty
in
revolutionized.
fucking first-person shooters.
Call of Duty
like,
revolutionized
just-
first-person shooters, and then Call of Duty 4 revolutionized them again, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 revolutionized them again, and then Black Ops revolutionized them again. Like, it was just, they were really good
But-
for a long stretch of
but-
time.
but-
Also, press F to X.
F to pray.
Press F to pay respects.
Pokemon wins. Let's move on.
Alrighty.
Light me on fire in the comments. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Call of Duty. Mario Kart. Mario Kart. Translation.
Versus Donkey Kong.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's
That's not a clear-cut winner for me.
If it was just the Donkey Kong TV show, Donkey Kong wins.
I feel like Mario Kart should have just been included in the Mario.
I thought.
franchise.
I debated
th-
this.
there's
No,
so
but there
there's
are
so
so
many
many.
Mario
The
Kart
thing
games.
is, there's
Yeah.
8 Mario Kart
Yeah,
games,
there's
and they're
enough there, it's
nothing like
about-
the Mario franchise.
and
Yeah.
Mario Kart. I mean,
Because we were gonna put Mario Sports as a separate thing maybe as well.
But then we're like, well, do we really want any of the sports on there?
Yeah.
And we were like, no. And then we were like, oh, where does Party go if we
Mario Tennis is
separate them
awesome.
into those two? And it's like, oh, well,
But
we
I think
don't do
Mario
that.
Kart is at this point especially its own.
I mean,
standalone
if
franchise.
Yes.
if when you
Especially
think
because they're starting to incorporate other non-Mario characters
when you
into it.
think of party game, Mario Kart is the game you think of.
Yeah.
It is the game that almost any group can come together and play. Doesn't matter if you play video games, don't play video games, love them, hate them. You can play
it's
Mario
always
Kart.
either Mario Party or Mario Kart, and
yeah.
Mario Kart is actually good, and Mario Party isn't. So there you go.
And it's not ever Mario Party anymore because that turned into Wii Sports.
Pretty much,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
If you're gonna play
There are
Mario
still
Party,
your
you're just gonna play
die-hard
Wii Sports.
people who love 1 through 3.
And I will say Mario Kart
Mario
introduced a new subgenre
Yeah.
into the racing
The
game.
kart racer.
Yeah, it introduced
Well,
that.
because
and-
Mario Kart originally started out as F-Zero too, and they're like, maybe F-Zero's a little too fast. Let's slow this down and see how that goes.
Because I mean, I
And it
played
worked.
when I was younger. I played more Crash Bandicoot Racer than I did
God.
But
Mario
similar.
Kart.
Yeah.
But I played it because Mario Kart existed.
Uh-huh.
If that game never happened, because it's a clone.
I will say, Crash Team Racing is better than Mario Kart 64.
Yes.
But
yes, it
every
is.
Mario Kart since Mario Kart 64 is better than Crash Team
Hey,
Racing.
y'all
Yes,
know,
I agree.
y'all see we're getting another Crash Team Racing.
We sure are.
We wait, what?
We sure are.
We sure are.
I'm excited.
Hot take, Mario Kart 64 was only good because a lot of people had it.
Yeah, well, it was extremely. I
No,
played.
that's- you
I
right, you
played
right.
the shit out of that game because I owned it.
Double Dash.
But
is-
Double Dash is still maybe the best one, maybe?
Double Dash DS.
I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's hard
Yeah.
to argue that that's not the best one.
Yeah,
It's so good.
Double Dash
But
does
Mario
do
Kart, Double Dash does something
legitimately
totally
different
different.
things.
Yeah.
You will find that I am very affected by nostalgia. I played the shit out of fucking Donkey Kong when I was a kid.
So let's talk
Sure.
about Donkey Kong, though, because Donkey Kong Country makes me very sad sometimes. It's also one of the best games
It's
ever.
so good.
makes me
Listen,
very
Donkey
sad
Kong
sometimes.
1, 2, and 3. Even though 3 and 2 have some really
Okay, we're
rough
talking about
parts-
Donkey Kong Country 3 or Donkey Kong 3, because Donkey Kong 3 is lit as
Donkey,
fuck.
okay, Donkey Kong
Fucking where
Country.
you're the bug guy and you shooting bug juice up Donkey Kong's dick.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Scott played a different game.
No, you play Stanley, and Donkey Kong's coming down these trees, and you're like shooting an insecticide up to Donkey Kong.
Oh my fucking yeah. Okay, now I get it.
It's
Mr. Game and Watch.
All right,
It was a
okay?
fetish
all right,
game.
let's shoot insecticide at Donkey Kong. So what does that translate? Shooting bug juice up his dick.
Also, Donkey Konga.
Yeah, and Donkey Kong, like Kirby, has tried a lot of weird shit.
It has tried some really weird things.
Also, I'm gonna give it credit for the most recent ones: Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze and I
I
forget
really
the one on the Wii.
Returns.
They're both fun.
Tropical Freeze in particular is one of, and I know this is a weird thing to bring up, but like one of the best speedrun games I've ever seen too.
It is.
Oh, it's so
God,
so
It
interesting.
is really fun to watch speedruns of. I really want to play it. God, I need to get it. I like Mario Kart.
I don't know what else to say.
I'm leaning to Donkey
The
Kong.
fact that so I'm
the
gonna
same.
the thing with Mario Kart is I think Double Dash is fucking excellent, and I think Mario Kart 8's excellent, and I think all the other games have either not been future proofed and are kind of
DS is excellent.
or
Still,
or
I
were
play it.
great at the time. But like DS is one of those that I'm like, yes, it's still good, but in the same way that Mario Kart Super Circuit is still good. Right? Like it is a shining example of what the hardware could do, but I don't know if I'd want to go back and play it today.
Oh, it holds up. It holds up.
You heard it here first.
It holds up. I still go back and put it on my DS because I like it that much.
But the best Mario
play it by myself.
Kart game was on the GBA.
No.
No.
I mean, Super Circuit
With
was
that
good.
said, where's everyone at on this one?
Donkey
I'm with
Kong.
Mario Kart.
I think Donkey Kong for
Donkey
me.
Kong.
Yeah.
I'm also with Donkey Kong right now.
Alright.
I don't feel bad.
It was close. It was close.
I don't feel either.
It was a
I
tough
love
one.
them both.
I think the thing that does it for me is that I just like
Kongs.
Well, and we didn't talk
I
about.
like
We didn't really
Big
talk
fat
about.
Kongs.
We didn't talk about Donkey Kong 1 either. But like, what a fucking
Yeah.
that arcade game has held up better than most
Yeah.
from that era.
And it created Mario.
and Donkey Kong Jr. is also
Yeah.
very fun.
I like Donkey Kong Jr. a lot.
But what about
actually.
Donkey Kong Jr. Math?
That's the best
Shut
one,
the
really.
Fuck up, Scott.
Donkey Kong Jr. should count as his own franchise.
Who pulled last?
I think me and you did.
Yeah.
So me and Scott.
I didn't pull last.
It
I
was
don't
me
care.
and you,
It
Tim.
doesn't really matter who pulls.
I'm trying to be equitable.
So we got Rock Band.
Versus Guitar
Guitar
Hero.
Hero.
Versus Mega Man.
Oh, okay. Mega Man wins. Let's move on.
I don't know. I have some things to say about Rock Band.
I have some
Listen,
things to say about
I
Rock
played
Band.
God, Rock Band is so good if you have a great family. Turns out I only had a little bit of
Or
one, so
if
it
you
was
have
okay.
a Ryman.
Yeah.
I
My
played the
friend
shit out of
Ryman
it
is
with my stepbrothers. It was
at least
great.
at one point was the #1 ranked drummer in all of Rock Band 4, and that's crazy.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull the same argument
how
that we
they
did
like
with
that.
Mario Kart here. When you think party games,
You don't
You think
Rock
Guitar
Band.
Hero?
You know you think
Actually-
Mega Man.
No, actually, this is a good point.
No, for a little while, a lot
If
of
you
people
think
had
music-
fucking Rock Band.
Yeah, that's true.
And
no.
we all broke it out
Or-
for
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Guitar Hero 1, similar.
3.
No.
Maybe you're gonna say something different.
I
I
am-
thought you were
I
gonna
am
say.
just
I'm
something
sorry.
very
I'm
different.
sorry.
Guitar Hero 1, very similar to Call of Duty, did something that at the time I played a lot of, but looking back wasn't good for the gaming industry as a whole. Because Guitar Hero 1 came out, and then it was, okay, guys, how many rhythm and
Okay,
specifically
okay.
guitar-based rhythm games can we
But
churn
most of
out?
them were good.
But also, let's hold it back on the Guitar Hero talk because maybe it's in here.
Yeah,
You
playing
can
Rock
all-
Band by
My
yourself
friend Zach
sucks.
always used to say it's not a game, it's an activity, and there was some truth to that.
I agree with that. I wouldn't say it's
But a game can be an activity
Sure,
at
yes.
the same time.
And we've talked about this briefly before, but I think with Rock Band, one of its detriments is it figured out what it needed to do. Here is the rhythm mechanic. Here's how it functions. Here's what you do, and then copy and paste that for like 8 years.
it's the Dragon Quest of party games.
I have.
It really is because it is
Yes and
singer, drummer, guitar, and this is how it works.
Yes and
Find
no.
a new song.
I have
Find a
a-
new song. Put it in.
I have
the
just
pro drums, the pro guitar. They have added
Pro keyboard.
Oh,
pro
well, yeah.
keyboards.
No,
the
okay.
keyboards
but then
added in.
a knock against it. Rock Band 4 took all that out except for pro drums. They
Did it
left
really?
That, but
Why?
they
Oh,
took
yeah,
everything else
it
out.
kept the multi vocals.
It kept harmonies and it
yeah.
kept pro drums, but it got rid of pro guitar, got rid of keyboard altogether.
Really? Shit.
I honestly don't think the pro guitar and shit was like
It was a
game
cool
breaker.
idea.
Rock
yeah.
Band just didn't work.
Rock Band 4 didn't need to happen.
And I guess one of my problems with buying new guitar, Rock Band or Guitar Hero games, I don't care which one, is buying new games. You're not getting a different game. You're just getting a different song list. Like at the end of the day, you're just getting different songs, which is just this game looks a little shinier and has different songs than I had
And
before.
that's why you should vote for Mega Man. So Mega Man is it has sub franchises, and the reason that that's important is you talked about Rock Band being like the same thing refined again and again and again. And within each Mega Man sub franchise, you can kind of say that, right? Mega Man 2 is pretty similar to Mega Man 3, is pretty similar to Mega Man 4. But every so often they're like, okay, we've done this kind of formula about as well as it can be done. Let's try something a little different. So then they made Mega Man X, which legitimately, if you haven't played it, it is so super different than original Mega Man.
Killed the first time, beat it the first, like they killed it the first time. They don't have to make any more Mega Man X's, right?
But they kept making them, and they were still really good up to a point when they stopped being as good, which is when they're like, well,
Five?
what if we make Mega Man 0, right? Which, again, was super different. It took a lot of the mechanics from Mega Man X, but made it more combat-oriented. So rather than just being jump and shoot, it was like jump and then slash, switch weapons, throw, jump. Like, it had like these weird
Borderlands.
fighting game combo systems, right? Which was really, really cool. Different attacks had priority on them, so you could chain attacks together. And then they were like, well, what if we did it in 3D? A lot of people don't like Mega Man Legends. Those people are fucking dumb because those are some of the best Zelda-likes of that era. They're loaded with personality. You play as like these fucking sky pirate. You play as these sky adventurers that fight sky pirates, and it's fully voice acted on the PS1, and it's actually pretty good voice acting. They were like, hey, what if it was a strategy game? And they made Mega Man Battle Network, where you fight on a weird grid in the internet, and it's also a card game with battle chips. They're all super different, is what I'm saying, and they all do different things really, really well. And yeah, you can argue that Mega Man, if you go down any one specific sub-franchise long enough, will get bad. That's pretty true. But if you look at the beginnings of any of the sub-franchises, they're almost always good for most of it. And a few of them, like Mega Man 0, I would argue, just good the whole way through. And not only that, they're not only varied, they're some of the best games in their genre, if not the best games in their individual genres.
Except for Mega Man 1.
Except for Mega Man 1, the game sucks.
The first one?
The first one's not
But hey,
very
they
good.
got better.
They
though.
figured it out.
But then,
Yeah.
literally one game later is Mega Man 2, and
Which
people
a lot of
still
people
talk
say
about
is
that
the
today.
best one.
Most people, it's wrong, it's Mega Man X, but most people still to this day say Mega Man 2
I'm
is
saying of
not
the
only
classic
the
version.
best Mega Man game, but one of like the top 5 best games on the NES. Like,
Yeah.
it's talked about so much still.
Also, I want to point out something. People give Mega Man, the new Mega Man shit, Mega Man 11.
Game's
That
fantastic.
game's fantastic. People just aren't playing with the gear system because it makes too easy. The gear system is what that game was designed around, and if you play with the gear system, it's great.
And I think if we look,
And once again, it's showing that Mega Man is willing to adapt and change for something that is criticized for being really similar. If you play all of the games individually, they're not really that similar other than being in the same genre.
and I think when you in like 20, 30 years when we look back, we will remember certain Mega Man games. I think we'll just remember that Rock Band existed. I actually
I played
him side by side.
Yeah, I played guitar. I was
And
learning to play guitar as I was playing
What was
Guitar
really
Hero.
interesting,
and
people like,
shit.
oh
It's
man,
weird.
playing real guitar must making playing Rock Band or Guitar Hero easy. Like,
And
no,
no,
it makes
it's
it harder
totally different.
because it's not even.
Oh man,
remotely
I
similar.
did know one guy. He was like, oh, I play guitar, so I probably can't play Rock Band or Guitar Hero. He 5-starred Hanger 18 on Expert his first time ever playing the game. I hate him.
So let's vote. Rock Band,
I'm a Rock Band bitch. I'm ruled by nostalgia.
We're not friends anymore. Get out of my house.
Mega Man.
It's not like you're losing, bitch.
You're not my friend anymore. Get out of my house.
Mega Man
Alrighty.
moves on. Scott gets one next as well.
Oh, Kyle's about to be upset.
Is it Ratchet and Clank? Versus Sim City.
Mortal Kombat.
I won't be that. I won't. Okay, if it was against anything else, I might be.
Do the Sims count as SimCity?
No.
No, you specifically
No, we
said
specifically
Sim City.
said
Just
specifically said the
double
city
checking.
franchise.
If it was something else, I might be upset. But like, if if Mortal Kombat loses to Sim City, I will be very upset.
I mean, I think it
mean,
is
I'm
because
in-
SimCity's really good.
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat. Once again, we were talking about Soul Calibur, all the stuff that it did for the fighting
Yes,
genre.
but
Mortal Kombat does not do that.
I think
It
Mortal
did.
Kombat's really obtuse and hard to get into, personally.
I disagree. I do because it's not hard to
Cool.
play Mortal
Glad
Kombat.
Scott's point is null and
okay,
void.
but
It is
so
invalid.
it's not hard to play Mortal Kombat, but if you are new to Mortal Kombat, if you're just trying to feel your way out, literally the whole game is going to be going uppercut.
No.
Yes. That is
I
how everyone starts Mortal Kombat.
I think of all the fighting games, if you're just gonna
I think the special moves are really hard to execute in that game.
if you're gonna
honestly,
if you're just gonna shove someone into a fighting game, I think they're gonna have probably the most immediate success with a Mortal Kombat game than they are other fighting games.
I would
No.
disagree. I
I
would
would
pick
disagree
Soul
with that.
Calibur, absolutely.
I would pick Soul
I
Calibur.
said
I would
most.
pick Street Fighter.
Soul
over that,
Calibur,
honestly.
Tekken, Street Fighter are the 3 that I would introduce people to.
Tekken would be way easier than Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
get
Kombat
into.
to this day, it has never really clicked with me. I've had fun with Mortal Kombat games.
I, as
it's
a
never really
fighting
clicked
game
with me.
player, have not clicked with Mortal Kombat. I cannot play a Mortal Kombat game.
But and to be fair, this I will defend Mortal Kombat here for a second because you were a fighting game player.
That's why.
I think that might be why.
But I get Injustice.
Sure.
So it should translate, but it doesn't.
I also think Mortal Kombat, once again, you're talking about low lows. I mean,
Yeah.
It has some shitty games for sure.
but I mean,
Everything
I
past
think
3 and up to
I think
10.
I think Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and I think the last couple that came out were all really good.
the only I think Deadly Alliance is probably the only actually horrible.
Well, then of course
Armageddon was pretty fun.
Yeah,
of
I
course
agree.
the Jax game and the Sub-Zero game, those weren't good.
But that's not, I don't think
Yeah.
that's not.
Wait,
Mortal
which one
Kombat.
was Deadly Alliance?
That was on GameCube.
That was the second 3D one.
Deception
Yeah.
was the good 3D.
Yes.
Shaolin Monks sucked.
But it's not
I
part of
thought-
Mortal
Oh,
Kombat.
you
I
know,
heard that
okay, so
Shaolin Monks
Shaolin
was
Monks.
good.
They are.
No, I don't
Shaolin
think-
Monks does kind of. Shaolin Monks, I
I
actually
like
had a lot
it.
of fun
I
at the
like it.
time, but like it is one of those games that's very dated.
Okay, if you're gonna say that The Sims is not included in Sim City, then you can't say that Shaolin Monks and the Jax game and Sub-Zero game are included in Mortal Kombat because they are different games entirely.
Either way,
We've
those
been
aren't the ones
picky
that-
and choosy the whole time because we included Mean Beam Machine and Sonic. I can absolutely be picky and choosy about this.
Either way,
I don't. Think
either
you
way,
can on
we,
this.
we all I think we all kind of like Mortal Kombat. I think Kyle really likes
I
Mortal
don't.
Kombat.
It's a
I
really
hate Mortal
fun
Kombat.
fight. It's a really fun
But I'm not
fighting
going to be
game.
upset if it loses to Sim.
I
or if it
think
beats
SimCity is
Like,
one
SimCity
of
is
the
one of the-
most interesting
Yeah.
strategy
Sims
games.
games?
I mean, I think it's one of the most interesting strategy or city builder or simulation games, whatever you want to call it. I think
agree.
next to Roller Coaster Tycoon, it is the most accessible sim game like ever made.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
dude.
I tried to play SimCity recently, and I still couldn't
Really?
fucking just
Because even
Maybe it's because
even
my
as
attention
like,
span
even
is,
as
like,
like
too
a
short to grasp
7-year-old
onto it,
baby
but-
child, like I could play SimCity, and I think a lot of it helped that there was a Super Nintendo version that stripped it all down
Also,
a
like-
lot, so that it was easy to understand, and that was one of the first versions I played.
No.
So maybe that did help.
When I was a 7-year-old baby child, I was at my cousin's house playing Mortal Kombat all the time.
Yeah, me too.
That-
My parents
the-
wouldn't let me play
the,
Mortal Kombat when
well,
I was a
that's-
baby.
You weren't supposed to. They weren't.
You weren't
let
supposed
You
to.
were supposed to play it in secret at your
And
cousin's house.
that's such a
Yeah.
really cool thing about Mortal Kombat because it came out at like the beginning of games becoming really popular
Yeah.
and had such this stigma around it from your parents, like, oh, you can't let kids play that. It's like
Except
this
my-
sneaky thing that you got to do.
No, so
think-
in middle
My
school,
grandparents let me play it, and it was.
so
I hated
my
it,
my parents were really picky and choosy about what I could play. So when I was 13, I borrowed it from a kid at my school and waited for my mom to go to bed and locked my door and turned the volume on like 3 and played it in my room really quietly.
Well, and
It was deception.
There was
That was
also
the- that was the
there's
one.
also amazing thing in the first 3 Mortal Kombat games that is before like gaming guides and all that kind of shit really came out. It was figuring out how to do the fatalities and all of those special moves.
Well,
Like,
and
you had to
also the
talk to each
secret
other.
characters, all the weird
Yes,
like
yes.
misinformation and the word of mouth about that was really cool.
Like I remember in a Mortal Kombat, was it Trilogy? Like there were ways to unlock like Noob Saibot and like fucking
Saibot?
yeah, Noob Saibot and Toro Goro and
this is we're making up
all
words now.
all these memorable characters that you love.
Noob Saibot's great.
Yeah, no, Noob Saibot's
But
amazing.
what about Noob Saibot?
Noob Saibot's awesome.
Noob Saibot the reason that people call people noobs?
No.
I hope so.
No, because Noob Saibot was
No, I know it's backwards, but what
Backwards
I'm saying
for
is people
Tobias
call
syndrome.
people newbies, and then they call them NEWBs. I'm wondering if they call them NOOB because of
No,
Noob
it's because
Saibot.
it's like leet speak. That's
Oh.
all it is.
But like there were
Well, you know what? I didn't have a computer till I was 14, so shut the fuck up, Steve.
Well, excuse me, princess.
so there's always the secret characters to unlock and then like these special secret moves, and like it wasn't just fatality, it was like babalities and brutalities. There was a lot of really interesting things to
But I think that a lot of that is the culture around Mortal Kombat was really cool.
No, I'm just saying there was a lot of really cool things to discover in the game.
I guess, but once again, to its benefit and to its detriment, it was all so obscure that but because it was so obscure, it did foster this interesting community of people trying to figure it all out.
So like I think I think it would be incorrect to exclude the culture around the game.
Yeah,
because,
no,
like,
fair.
especially with fighting games in an arcade era.
Yeah.
That's like part of the enjoyment
Because
of the game.
that's what I'm thinking about. It's like your friends come over, and do you, like if you had to choose between Mortal Kombat and
SimCity.
That's not
your
fair
friend-
though.
your-
All right, vote.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, I guess.
Mortal Kombat. It'll lose later. It's fine.
It'll lose next round.
Full Spectrum Warrior is underrated.
Who else is picking?
Steve.
Okay.
I got Street Fighter.
Oops.
What's gonna happen?
Forza.
Street Fighter.
Street
Come
Fighter.
on.
I don't even like Street Fighter that much, and it's better than
Honestly,
Forza.
yeah.
I mean, Forza's good.
Forza is a fantastic
yeah, it's a
racer.
very good racing simulator, but whatever. I
Gran
don't care.
Turismo's better.
the
No.
The old Gran Turismos are better than the old Forzas, but the new Forzas
the
are better than
only
the new Gran Turismos.
good racing game is Need for Speed Most Wanted.
You're
That's a
wrong.
weird way to say Burnout
That's
3.
a really weird way to say Burnout
Revenge.
3.
Or Flat Out.
Steve has opinions.
They sure are opinions.
Well, lay it out,
Did-
girl.
Did y'all never?
Flat Out. I did.
Yeah,
I
it's
did
like, did y'all
Flat
never
Out.
play the stupid
I
mini
know.
games?
Moving on, I don't even have to waste
What
an
about
argument
Sierra?
on
What about the
Street Fighter
Sierra
right
games?
now.
Like Leisure Suit Larry.
This is the last one.
No,
for this
Sierra
one, isn't
racing
it?
games.
Yes,
are
the
good.
next
Oh, I thought you meant the company Sierra.
No.
Oh god.
Because Leisure Suit Larry is one of
Pick
the few
yours.
games my mom has played for some reason.
That's
Everyone
really
should
she
fun.
that
used to
game.
play Leisure Suit Larry
we
and
go.
Legend of the Last
is it?
Lizards.
Fallout.
This is
Oh.
gonna be really difficult.
Is it?
What
Because
is
Fallout
yours?
sucks.
Not the first two. Continue.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Who
May
don't
Cry.
Devil May
May
Cry?
Cry.
My props to
Wow, I
Fallout
didn't think
1,
Devil
2, and
May
New
Cry
Vegas.
would win that easy.
Oh man, I fucking love Devil May Cry,
Devil May
dude.
Cry is one of the best action
The-
games.
the
ever
only
made.
one I haven't
DMC
played
Devil
are
May
2 and
Cry is
4.
one of the best action
Well,
games
like
I've ever
the
played.
franchise
It is.
itself.
No, sure.
You think it
So
isn't
one-
your
the
fucking
one-
liar.
Cry.
The thing is, 1 doesn't hold up, 2 was always bad, 3, 4,
Yes.
5, and DMC Devil May Cry are all excellent.
3, I still play 3.
Even,
I love
even
3.
the games
Holy
that don't
shit.
hold up too well. They still have some of the best combat systems and action
No,
games.
Resident-
no, wait,
Devil
hang
May
on,
Cry
hang
1.
on,
Devil May
hang
Cry
on.
1's
We're
just
gonna
actually
say
bad.
this.
Hang on. I'm just saying, like, if you go back now, sure, but like back when Devil May Cry
sure.
1 came out,
Sure, the only other game that was anything like it was like Onimusha
Yeah.
or like Dino Crisis.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say something real quick.
Dino Crisis was like Resident Evil.
I'm gonna say something directly to the internet real quick. DMC is the best Devil May Cry there is. You're all wrong.
Message.
This message brought to you by
Every-
Jacob's Rage.
Also,
Every other Devil May Cry sucks. It got
Eh.
carried by DMC.
there are some other good Devil May Cry games, but DMC is the best one. Hot take.
Dante
Weird
looks
flex.
cooler and has a better personality
That's so
in
Fortnite.
DMC.
Devil May Cry
That's
5
punk
Game
rock,
of the Year.
baby.
2019.
I stand DMC Devil May Cry.
Oh, the way you're using.
It's a weird flex, isn't it?
I hate you all so much.
I think the Fallout series, I mean, the newest two have some problems. But, I mean, you can carry a lot of that franchise with Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas is fucking.
Like, you can
incredible,
carry
but-
that whole series on those shoulders.
Well, I would say even
Or
1
and 2.
2
Yeah.
I'm
also. Yeah,
Yes,
If
they're-
you're into that kind of thing.
yes.
Some people
they
aren't
are
into that.
super
To-
to
important.
me, it's like trying to compare the first.
Civilization to Kingdom Hearts.
No,
It is actually that same thing. It is that
actually-
different.
I was going to
That
say
different.
something better. Grand Theft Auto 3 versus Grand Theft Auto 2.
Yes.
Like
That is actually a really good comparison.
like those games really couldn't be more different, though they're in the same franchise.
But what I'm saying is that I think a lot of people still like Fallout a lot because of the world building
Yes,
that 1 and 2 did.
and that the concept and the idea behind it all do come together to create what it is.
And I think
what
Fallout
a crazy
games-
jump from Fallout 2 to Fallout 3.
And I think Fallout
took a
games
while.
are often flawed, but I think
Yes,
that the
yeah.
groundwork has been laid so well that any one Fallout release could be the one that brings it back.
And I mean, I don't know.
It would be so easy.
People, I don't know how
they
everyone
just need
feels.
a new engine.
I don't know how everyone feels about 4. People have mixed feelings on 4.
It's
Bad.
It's better than 76.
It
Yeah.
just
Everything's
looks so
better than
boring.
76.
Fallout 4 just looks so boring to me.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
I
okay.
had-
It
I
has
had a
its
shit ton of
moments.
fun.
But
as
people
a
were
kid with
pooping
Fallout
their
3,
pants
but-
about 4. They were like, no, the next month my life is gone.
I say that I played Fallout 3 when I was a kid. I was 19.
Yeah,
That's
I was
weird
like
that
16
I
and
consider
17.
that being
Being
a kid now.
I don't like Fallout 3 specifically because when I got out of the vault the first time to go find my daddy,
Daddy do.
I saw Megaton and I'm like, it wants me to go there. I'm gonna go over here. And the first thing I walked into was the vault where
yeah, the
no,
first
the
thing
vault
you found
where my
was
dad
Liam
was.
Neeson. You
Oh.
accidentally
You
found
found
Liam
Liam
Neeson
Neeson.
right away.
That's so fucking hilarious. How did you do that?
But that's
It happened.
That's the fun thing about open world
I
games
was like, well,
that,
I did it.
Where,
Cool.
where there's no gatekeeping on where you can go and where you can't go. It's like you can just. Oh, well, I guess you found it.
See, I skipped all the way up to chapter 3, like leaving the thing because
Mm-hmm.
I went to Megaton and then I started exploring and I came across the virtual reality thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's what I
Yeah.
did.
Oh, it's
Except I didn't explore Megaton. I just went. I was like,
You were like,
it
I'll
wants
go
me to
this
go there.
direction.
I'm gonna go the other way.
Because
Here's
Jacob
something.
is.
Let's
Oh,
do
here's
it.
something cool. Oh, I beat the game now. Whoops.
And but with all that,
But the thing about Fallout, and it's, you know, people are always, well, if you shouldn't care about the main storyline, why do you care? But, like, it isn't about that. It is about
I agree,
your
yeah.
own personal adventure that you carve out. That's what those games
you
are
can,
about.
because if it
And
was
that's what all of those games are
if
about.
it was about
Yeah.
the constructed narrative, it wouldn't be possible to discover Liam Neeson in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like you just couldn't do it.
and in a way, like, yes, that ruined the game for Jacob, but that might have made the game for someone else.
Oh no,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I hated it at the time because I had spent $60 of allowance money and I beat the game in 20 minutes or so, and I was like, well, fuck, that was a waste
That's
of money.
amazing.
But like
First
looking back on
speedrunner
it,
Fallout 3, Jacob.
but looking back on it, like, I mean, it's really cool that it could happen that way.
Yeah.
I just think that I do think that, like, especially compared to New Vegas, a lot of the world is empty, whereas in New
Yes.
Vegas, there's a lot of little stories that the world tells by itself without having to be an overt quest or something like that.
That being
it's just
said,
scenery stories.
Devil May Cry wins. Let's move on.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we want to vote, actually?
Yeah, let's vote.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Devil May Cry.
Yeah. So. All right. So that's the end of this one.
I love how we chose to talk about
We're on the
Fallout
next-
because we know we'll get to talk about Devil May Cry in a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you're right. You know what? We
Do you
should
need
do
another
that.
piece of paper?
Hold on. No, I'm using back.
Okay, it was like we still got some more to go.
Next up is another 16. We're coming back right back at you. And
Right after these commercial
Right after
Kirby,
messages.
Kirby, he's the star of the show.
don't get us copyright struck, Scott.